Flint and crew take on the English Navy. Blackbeard shows up to lend a hand, and a legend is born. It's the Season 3 finale of Black Sails, Episode 10, 28. Alright, spoilers ahead, just so you've been warned. Alright, now this is how you do a season finale. You've got ship fights, you've got pirate fights, you've got ambushes, you've got deception, surprise, and a little hint, just a little taste of what's to come up next season. Oh, they did such a good job. Really an amazing way to end season 3. Now, as we opened up this season, we were really talking a lot about the world versus pirates, the giant pirate war, and we didn't really get so much of that. We really tended to focus a lot more on Nassau and that, but this is really where we're starting to get into the meat of things. We've got the English Navy assaulting the island where the slave encampment is, backed up by Flint and the crew of the Walrus and some other pirates. We've got Jack Rackham out around the corner, as it were, around the edge of the little isthmus, hiding out to ambush the fleet itself after it lands the soldiers. And then, of course, you've got the various things that are going on in Nassau. Everything that was building this season really leads right to this point, and they carry it off beautifully. I mean, from the point of merely the cinematography and the large sweeping shots, the overlays, and just the large vistas where you can see everything going on. There's one beautiful shot as they shoot over the Walrus, over the edge of this little isthmus where they're hiding behind, and then drop down, and you can just see the line of English fleets. These are really the type of shots. They're expensive, they cost money, but this is where it really pays off in these type of season finale big battles. And they say they don't let down. From the battle on the beach to what goes on the ship when Blackbeard shows up, and Anne Bonny's assault on the English line was just beautifully done. I mean, we know how dangerous Anne is, but this really brings it up. The shot where they all jump into the water and like, are they gonna swim all the way to the ships? And they do. And when she pops up and just stands there with her bodice and the pirates are taking over the planet, this is real. Like I said, this is really the meat and potatoes of pirate work that just makes the show just lovely. Now, most of the show is really framed around a discussion, a conversation between Flint and Silver. Flint is out in the middle of the night burying the treasure, making sure that the English, even if they come in, even if they take part of the town, that they can't get the treasure, because that's what England is after. Taking out the pirates is really entirely secondary to this. They need that chest. They need the treasure. They need to get it back to Spain, or Spain sending the Dread Fleet to wipe out Nassau. So that is really their primary focus. And Flint's very smart in hiding this. It's not in the middle of town. It's not anywhere they can find it. It's out and around. It is buried. Unless you know where it is, you're never, ever going to find it. And there's only couple people. There's only Flint and Silver that know where it is. And that's pretty much it. So, very intelligent way to set things up. And then again, everything is framed in reflection to this conversation that they have, where Silver is asking Flint, what really has driven you here? Where has this begun? And it's nice because as they complete each little part of the conversation, it frames the upcoming battle really well. I like the fact that he was straight with Silver and told him all about Thomas and what had happened with that. And Silver's just taking it in, very understanding. It's a nice thing that really they do well in this show, is dealing with these complex issues. Well, complex for nowadays, and just moving on and just dealing with them and going on. There's no real prejudice that's floated around here. And whether or not that is historically correct, I think is entirely irrelevant. We are framing these stories in the context of how we are thinking and how we're viewing things nowadays. So I really appreciate that they are dealing with that and they don't dwell. And it really tells a lot about the characters and how much they really have an understanding of each other, and really keeps everything just moving forward. There's not a lot of time wasted on that. There's the arrival of Blackbeard, which I thought was perfectly done. I loved Jack looking out and seeing the fleet and like, oh my God, we got another range of British that are coming into us. And you look a little further and again, Jack is smart. How many ships were in our fleet that disappeared? What was the makeup of them? Let's go take a look because this seems right. Just, again, I love smart characters. And so when Blackbeard shows up and he delivers the news to Anne and Jack that yes, Vane is dead, I think that just, the impact that sees, I mean, again, great character work. You can see how this affects them viscerally on the looks on their face, and then the following attacks afterwards, like I just mentioned before, and Bonnie swimming across. You know that was just fueled purely by revenge, her anger. It's just, do not mess with Anne Bonny, man. She is incredible. God, I want to see more of that type of stuff. I want to see more of those type of actions. Her assaulting the ship with the rest of the pirates, just showing really what such a badass she is. Not just by herself, but even with a group. Is just beautifully, beautifully done. Wonderful ship sequences. Just, again, I can't speak more of this. And then, of course, we have Mr. Dobbs. The deception of Mr. Dobbs, which, again, beautifully framed from that conversation between Flint and Silver. And I think this was really where it carries and brings itself forward even better. Because, you know, Flint brings up a very valid point. Why are you putting this man in charge? This man, you know, you may have taught him a lesson, but he may want to betray you. And so when it goes in and we see that that's what Dobbs does, and we're questioning, is this part of Silver's plan, or is Dobbs stabbing him in the back? And I think the way that they have framed this, we don't know. As an audience, we don't know which direction he is going in. And that, I mean, that is nice. Again, that pulls us viscerally into it. And then it frames back and forth where Silver goes and talks about, yeah, but you know, I think I'm finding a position that is different from where you come in, where people are afraid of me, but they want my approval. And this is starting to set up that difference between Silver and Flint, where we see down the road becomes where Silver might be someone that Flint actually fears. And part of that is, again, Silver's presentation of thinking about, look, there's, you know, especially after the story with Thomas, okay, so now instead of 2, there's 3 people that have been close to you, and they're all dead. This might think badly to me, but I am seeing things a little different, approaching things different. Again, his connection in with the men, that fear and respect and balance and back and forth and tug. So as he presents back to Flint later on, you know, yeah, the habits of people close to you have all ended up dying, but I think when it comes to it, you might be the one that dies. Not me, because I'm seeing things a little different than all of these other people do. Again, we're doing a little sneak forward there, but it frames that conversation well, because as we do find out, no, Dobbs is doing exactly what Silver wanted him to do. And that ambush sequence was amazing. Just the pirate jumping out of the ground and out of the bushes and all, or just completely, and the death of Hornigold. So glad. You know, okay, Dobbs tried to do it. He was killed, but that he did his job. It had to be Flint. It had to be Flint versus Benjamin Hornigold. And Ben Hornigold, of course, lost. So we get another beautiful sequences, and I know I keep saying that, but just that's the effect that it had on me. Just jaw opened the entire episode, the way that they brought everything, the back and forth, the deception, the thumbs up, that is just beautifully done. Then we get back to NASA a little bit, and of course they're thinking about the whole thing with Vane. Vane is hanging up in the giblet or whatever they're calling it, basically a little cage where his body is starting to rot, and presents it out. This is how they show, there's no respect for pirates We will hang him and we'll display his body out there as a warning for everyone to see. But it's not having the effect that they want. Vane's death did not have the effect that they wanted on the pirates. As Billy Bones had said, he has just inspired the pirate rebellion on Nassau. The resistance has begun. And this is presented to Eleanor Guthrie in the form of the Black Spot, which is a beautiful, tie back into Treasure Island, because of course Treasure Island kind of opens up with the presentation of the Black Spot, of the threat. They want you to put, bring Vane down or else. Now, the British can't do that because they'll be giving in, we don't negotiate with terrorists type of whole idea. But they can't leave it up that long because they know this is really this isn't working as a deterrent, this is working as an inspiration for people to rebel. They are starting to feel their mistake has been made. And Billy Bones is right on top of it. And that is, I think, that perfect ending where we follow the conversation again with Flint and Silver, talking about respect, that people want my approval, but they are afraid of me. And it's that balance. And Billy Bones has seen this, and he is presenting this out when they're talking about we need a villain. We need a villain to present to the English who will destroy them. We need an image. We need a legend to be formed to inspire everyone, to inspire fear in the enemies and to inspire respect and obedience in the allies. And there is no better image than following up the one that John Silver presented in the bar when he grabbed the journals, threatened everyone, and then crushed Dufresne's face with his peg leg. There's already discussions about him. There are already legends starting to be born. And that is what Billy Bones grabs onto. And that is when he writes the letter and signs it. Long John Silver. The legend has been born. And there's a kind of a fun little point, the fact that this is all being done without Silver having any idea at all. I mean, the last thing that he had said about this incident was to Maddie, when he said, I don't expect to want to do that ever again. That for a long time, that was more than what I wanted to do. But that's not going to play again. We have the whole battle. We have the conversation with Flint. We have that understanding of fear and respect. And now this letter is being presented out as the very end of the episode. Beware, Long John Silver. That's how they ended. Again, beautifully. They wipe out well, I don't know if they wipe out, but they certainly decimate the English fleet. Send anyone back that might be alive. You tell them that I'm coming. That Flint's coming. I don't know if you guys have seen Tombstone, but all I was thinking was Kurt Russell's end of that when he said, you tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me. That's exactly the image that was being portrayed. He didn't have to say it, but that's what I think we all heard. He's coming, and hell is coming with him. It's going to Nassau, and the English better be afraid. And that is the end of Season 3 of Black Sails. Man, that was awesome. We got 10 episodes instead of 9, a little bit of extra there. And then, again, that little taste, the little Long John Silver taste of what is to come next season. The only real downside is we've got to wait a year for it. Oh, man, that sucks. But we'll still be here. When it comes back, we will be back, and we will be talking about it. I hope you enjoyed what we had to say all season long here, and come back next season. Press like if you did enjoy all of this. Subscribe. I do other shows. We're doing Walking Dead. That's wrapping up next week. We're going right into Fear the Walking Dead. We're still doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. May or may not do Game of Thrones. Schedule is very busy, and I want to be able to present things to you guys in a well-construed manner. I want to be able to have the proper time to it. I don't want to be rushed. So we'll have to see. Pay attention to future episodes, and I will tell you everything that will be coming up. So, like, subscribe, comment in the section below. Tell me what you thought of this season, what you expect for next season. We can continue the conversation. Anyway, that is it. Our pirate adventures are done for now. Thank you so much to STARZ and the entire cast and crew of Black Sails for making such an incredible show. We cannot wait for the next season to come up, which, by the way, they are already filming right now, so it is coming. And that's it. I'm done, and I'm out of here. I'm D. You all take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.